Hello everyone, this is Frugal Panda here with a trip to Santa Fe, New Mexico. This video was recorded over 3 days. I was in Santa Fe for 3 days, 2 nights, 3 days, something like that. So this is the very first day I'm here. It'll all run together. I basically got here kind of, I don't want to say late, afternoon time frame, probably around 2 or 3. I think it was around 3 p.m. matter of fact when I got here, just because I think I could check into my hotel room right when I got here. So I wasn't going to waste the day. I was going to get out and go check out the town, go get a bite to eat. I was starving. I was waiting till I got here. I did not want to get fast food on the road. For this trip, I brought the Nissan Ariya EV. As you know, I have an EV. I just wanted to take it this time and check it out. I also brought my electric XP long range 3.0 with me, so I will have a video I'll put together of me riding around Santa Fe as well on one of the really nice sunny days. This is late afternoon. The sun would peek out here and there, but it was mostly cloudy. I think it was a little on the chilly side if I remember right. I wore a coat, a light jacket, light coat. This is in late April time frame when I'm down here. I had been planning this for a while because I hadn't been to Santa Fe in a while, and one of the main reasons was I wanted to go check out the Meow Wolf. We went here back in 2016, 2017, and I want to come back here and do the story while I was down here and just sit and chill out in Santa Fe for the weekend, I guess you'd say. So that was one of the big things I had planned for the next day in this area. So I'm just walking around downtown. It may not seem like it, but it was really busy. Didn't really have a problem on finding a parking spot here. I didn't say this earlier. The population here is around 89,000 people. They have the elevation is around almost 7,000 foot of elevation. I didn't really pay attention to it. It was fine walking around. Like I said, it was busy down here, but I really didn't have a problem finding a parking spot. And I just don't put a bunch of people in my videos a lot of times, but it was busier than what it looked like, believe it or not, even on this little chilly, kind of windy day this was. And if I didn't say already, Santa Fe, New Mexico, of course, is the capital of New Mexico. Yeah, it's the capital. It's a small capital. Around 90,000 people live here. I think it's cute. It's pretty cool. I enjoyed my time here. I brought my EV, so by the time I got here, I was kind of through of driving and stopping. I want to say probably taking my EV probably added, I'll say, about 2 hours to my trip. It wasn't as bad as it was before the last time I came down here and went to Albuquerque. I stopped in Santa Fe for a hot second, but I didn't hang out here. I just used a free charger the last time I was here. But the last time I came to Albuquerque, it was kind of a headache with the EV. This time I stuck to mostly all Electrify Americas. Didn't play, plugged in. I didn't do any shopping or anything I needed until my first place I needed to charge, which was a Walmart. And then I would do my shopping and stuff there so to make it worth my while. If I'd have brought a gas car, I could have been here probably 2 hours earlier, to be honest with you. But it was okay. It wasn't a big deal. I just wanted to bring the EV this time. Did I save any money on the road? I can't really say, which means I probably didn't. So anyway, while I was here, I grabbed a bite to eat. I went to the burger stand, which was downtown. The burger was pretty decent here. The ambiance was cool. I needed to use the bathroom. It's kind of hard sometimes finding bathrooms in these type of places, especially places with a huge homeless population. And Santa Fe is a place with a very large homeless population. I didn't really get any pictures of them in my videos. I don't really want them in my videos, to be honest with you, but they were all over. And I was getting there around dark time. As you know, that's when they all start coming out to come downtown or wherever they're at to settle down and sleep. I stayed in a budget hotel when I was down here. I think it was called the Santa Fe Inn, something like that. It was okay. There was like a homeless person sleeping outside, but they shoot them off by the time I got back. But yeah, there's quite a bit of them in Santa Fe. Santa Fe has a serious issue with homelessness. Also, in this area, I found out, because what I've gotten into is I like to go to thrift stores, and I like going to thrift stores before, but now when I'm in new towns or new cities, I got to hit their local thrift store. And I did actually find something, and I think a Goodwill it was, a cool storage container that was really nice with different type of measurements on it, where you can measure stuff and all this stuff on it built into the top of it. It was real nice. I got it for like $5. Anyway, getting back to my point, I found out Santa Fe, New Mexico has no pawn shops. I like to go check out pawn shops as well, and they did not have any pawn shops in the city limits. So that was a new one for me. One of the days I was here, I needed to waste some time. So I was not really waste time, but I was in between doing things, and I was just driving around, checking out the city and stuff like that, and just driving, checking out the new builds and stuff. They got some really cool homes here. I like Santa Fe. Would I ever live here? No. Homelessness is off the chain. It's kind of grody in a lot of places in Santa Fe for being such a small city, no matter if it is the capital. I just think it's, they need to deal with all that. But as far as their downtown, it was pretty nice. They had public restrooms and stuff there, I found later on. How I parked the first time when I came down in the evening, I didn't realize there was a charger, a slow charger, like literally, if I'd have turned around, I would saw it. So I was going back to my car to leave, and just go back to the hotel, I think after I ate, and I saw the charger, and I think I was at, I don't remember, 70%. So I said, oh, you know what, I'm not ready to go back. So I just pulled my car over there where it doesn't cost after 5 or 6 p.m. anyway. But anyway, I pulled over to the EV chargers, which were slow chargers, plugged in, and went and hung out and walked around at dark time and all this stuff like that. And by the time I got done, I went back to my car. It was fully charged for the next day, basically, almost fully charged. My hotel was like 3 miles away. So I basically did that. So I did that like 2 or 3 times. So when I was planning on coming downtown to ride my e-bike, I did some other stuff, and then I came down here and plugged in and charged too, and just rode my e-bike around. And so with that, I rode around on my e-bike while my car was charging. It notified me when it started getting close to being done charging. I went back, unhooked my car, and left and went and did some other stuff. As you see, those are the chargers I'm talking about right there. And they were slow chargers, so they're not going to charge your car really fast. But it was very adequate, especially when you're hanging out downtown. So I don't know what an hour gets you 20-30%, I'm guessing. So if you're at 40% or something like that, you went downtown to get a bite to eat, and you spend an hour and a half or whatever messing around at downtown, you come back with 50, maybe at 70% or so like that, and it cost you a few bucks. So that was really cool to see those, and I didn't have to pay for parking any of the other days when I came down during the day because I was charging. And I never had a problem getting a charger. I think I saw one person at it one time when I was there. Yeah, so that's what I did. I plugged in, I'm hanging out. I said, what's it like at nighttime? And you start seeing kids, of course, people with kids started, moving on as it got dark. And you start seeing more people like, going out for dinner, date night, stuff like that. It starts slowing down. There's a homeless person to the right sleeping, I think, or their stuff's there. I don't know where they're at. But it was pretty cool to see that. Not the homeless person, but just to switch off in populations. But it felt pretty safe. I tell people, be aware of your surroundings. So when I was pulling in at the first time, to find a parking spot right next to downtown, not by the government buildings, but literally in downtown. And there was a group of homeless people literally standing next to people's cars, and there was an opening right there. My e-bike is pretty well covered, but I'm not going to pull in next to 6 or 7 homeless guys standing there and park and lock my car and walk away from it. I don't need a busted window or something because someone wants to try and steal something that's really actually chained up in my car. You'd have a hell of a time getting it out because it's actually chained in there. People don't know that, but you can't hardly see it because it's black on black how I have it set up in there. But I'm not going to pull next to 7 or 8 of them, so people can stare in my car and, oh, there's $1,000 e-bike, and whatever else I have in there. So I was like, no. we're just walking around. Honestly, I'm just getting my steps in and getting you guys some video and enjoying this night of just walking around. I wish Santa Fe had a little more water and things like that. You know, but it is what it is. But I saw their little creek or whatever that is, Santa Fe Creek or whatever they call that. It was pretty small. And Colorado has water, but we ain't exactly, California or Washington State or, Oregon. But good Lord, I'm like, man, I need some water here. What I liked about here, though, was the Pueblo style architecture, a lot of history from going back to the Spanish colonies, things like that. I thought it was really cool. I really do like the Pueblo style architecture that they have here. I think that it really looks cool. When I was driving around and looking at the new builds on the outskirts of Santa Fe, I thought it was pretty cool to see these houses built in that style and be brand new houses and condos and stuff like that. Honestly, when I was driving around, we haven't been here. I haven't been here since 2017. The city hasn't changed much. Yeah, there were some new builds here, but it was pretty much the same. Only thing I really noticed more so this time was the homeless population, which I remember from the last time we were here, but this time it was way worse. And, it's just how it is. New Mexico is a fairly poor state by standards. And that's not to say there's not a lot of great stuff here, great people, things to do, good food, but it's just what it is. As you can see, it's now dark. Even though I'm using the camera, my phone I'm using makes stuff look lighter than what it is, but it's pretty much dark here. I'm seeing people walking around, doing date night, things like that. Like I said, I'm getting my steps in. I'm enjoying my time. I went to the thrift store, like I said earlier. They had a lot of cool stuff. I enjoy doing that now in new cities because you never know what you're going to find. While I'm in this city, I would go to the Meow Wolf. I would spend the day, not the day, I spent a few hours there doing the story because the last time we didn't do the story. I did it this time, but the problem is it was really hard to understand because there were so many people at the Meow Wolf this time. Holy smokes. After I went there, I was like, did I really want to spend that $45? And also, they charge you more in New Mexico if you're not a resident. So it's like $25 for people that are residents, and then for everyone else, they charge you freaking $45. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't really like that, but I said that's one of the reasons I came here. I was kind of disappointed afterwards because it was packed in there, and so it was cool, but it wasn't as enjoyable as it was the last time we were here. So as you can see, I'm walking around. Santa Fe's a fairly clean city, what I can see in their downtown, but their downtown's also where all the touristy people are. I saw a lot of cool vans. One thing I'll say is I was looking for good Mexican food. And I didn't go for the big places because I found with the bigger places, they're not very good. Usually the hole in the walls are the best. So I looked around and I researched and I found a little hole in the wall that, wasn't the nicest place looking in an old plaza and stuff like that. I pull up there and realize we went here in 2017 and it was delicious. It was a little bitty hole in the wall place, and there'll be a picture of it in here. And oh man, it was excellent. And not only was it excellent, it was cheap. And I left the guy a good tip, but it was cheap and it was good. And I appreciate that. I've been in some sit down places. That's the place right there. Jaripo, or whatever, I don't know. Anyway, go check out Santa Fe, everyone. Go hang out there. Go eat some good food. Have a good day. Bye.